Was I too Asian for America? That's what I want to talk about in this video. I guess I should start off by saying that I am a Chinese American and I was born and raised in New York City for most of my life, as many of you know. But I would say it's a very complex topic. After all, being from America, and I still feel this way, I still feel more American than Asia. But somehow, when I was in America, in New York City, I felt that some things just didn't mesh completely between my characteristics as an Asian and American culture. And I would think it would be harder for someone who was born outside of a multicultural city like New York City. I think that being born and being raised in that culture of New York City, it helped me to assimilate more into American culture. After all, there are a lot more people, a lot more cultures in New York City. Heck, there's even at least 5 different Chinatowns in New York City. But when I was very young, I didn't really share a lot of the same hobbies that many of my peers did, many of my classmates. A lot of them, they're a little bit more physical with their activities. They want to do sports, stuff like basketball, running, maybe even American football. But I was never really the sporty type. I was a very typical Asian in the sense that I was very studious and nerdy, went to school, got great grades, and didn't really worry too much about my external hobbies too much or participated in many sports. I didn't really party that much. So in a sense, many of you may say that's a very stereotypical Asian upbringing. Go to school, get good grades, try to avoid danger. In Asian culture, there's also this concept of saving face, where if something's very hard, you don't really address it directly and you just kind of walk away from it, or you just let people know nicely that it's not wanted, and you don't really act directly upon that. But I would say in some cases that part of the Asian culture, saving face, can be good or bad, because in one way you kind of maintain your composure a little bit. You don't really let it get to you. But on the other hand, you're not really being 100% true to other people when it comes to expressing opinions and whatnot. And I think over time I kind of grew out of that a little bit, the concept of saving face, and I really learned to address people more directly. Maybe I can give you an example. If someone asked me if I wanted to do a certain activity, I would have said, oh, well, I think I need to prepare on my own life some more and reflect, rather than just saying, oh no, I can't do it. And that may seem a little bit rude to some people, but sometimes a direct no is a lot better than just giving ambiguous answers sometimes. But in a professional sense, when I did grow up in New York City, attended college, graduated, and it came time to look for a job, I felt at that time it was harder for me to get accepted into American culture, even though I was born and raised in it the entire time. And by that I mean with professional culture, work culture, I don't know, it kind of seems like you may be in competition with a lot of other people who they may seem as more successful than you, and American culture is very work-centric, and it's kind of hard to, get noticed in that type of a culture. It's always hustle and strive to get ahead, which a lot of Asians, let's face it, are not really too good at, because they like to remain orderly, they like to work hard, whereas the American culture of constantly staying on top of things and staying ahead doesn't really agree with the Asian mindset in a bit. And that's kind of what I had to learn over the years, is that I really needed to show my leadership a little bit and evolve with the times, because I found out that if you didn't do that, the American culture would really bully you around as an Asian. They just think you're just some other person, but you really have to work smarter and not harder in the American culture way. So in that sense, I've learned to adapt and evolve. And then there's the other aspect of it, which is the romantic life. And this is something that I really struggled with back in America, even in a multicultural society like New York City. Now you would say that probably part of my childhood played a part into it too, how my family raised me to be a good person and not party, not drink. And people may say that I'm not a social butterfly, and that hurt my chances in the romantic scene. But I see it differently. I see it how, because of my race, people did really look at me differently, because Western media isn't really too kind to portraying Asians. And I think that's been getting a little bit better with the proliferation of K-pop and some Asians in center stage. But it's still a big issue around. We really don't feel represented in American culture. And I really felt that it kept me back from being discovered and really respected when it came to romantic life in the United States. I kind of also touched about this on my previous video too, about why I moved from America to Asia, because of the romantic life. But I saw really a dramatic difference when I came to Asia, how all of a sudden I was really the person who stood out. I was desired. But it's a weird place to be, being from two cultures. I'm not 100% Asian and I'm not 100% American. I would say I'm probably like 80%, maybe like 75% American, 25% Asian, according to how I feel. But I was still never really like recognized, I should say, in American society fully. That's not to say that I don't really have great family members, great friends, because I really think that that matters a lot more rather than what society thinks of you. There's a saying that goes like, you're the average of like your 5 closest friends, and I'm sure my closest friends can really vouch for me. If you hang out with the people who, will bring your life down and give you negative or negative input and influence, then I think it will drag your life down too. So I hope you enjoyed the vlog today. This is very interesting for me to think about how I'm more American than Asian, even though I look Asian, and I definitely do not sound Asian, even though I can speak multiple languages now, although not any of them fluently. Bây giờ đang học tiếng Việt, anh học tôi học tiếng Việt 6 tháng rồi. 我学习中文大概3年了，但是很多我不知道。And then when they hear that, they're like, "Yeah, we can definitely tell you're not a local." Anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button for me, subscribe. I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.